Hello, everyone. Welcome to the King Leo Show. This is a day of technical difficulties. How you doing, Eves? How you doing, J-Boss? You guys are in the pre-show. How's everyone doing? You guys get to see me do some boomer tech here. Just need to see something here. Wanted to add some stuff to the stream deck. 1 second. I am just in the pre-show. How was your weekend, everyone, man? My weekend, I really thought that things were going to be chill, and it's the end of the world, man. Like, everything is happening. It's crazy. I'm really looking forward. My producer got me to watch a lot of these Michael Tracy interviews this weekend, and it was great stuff. It was really good stuff, man. I'm excited about today's topic. I didn't say this is not the Henry Ford show, okay? This is the King Leo show. But is the audio okay? Let me check if the audio is okay. Let me be clear about this. Where's the audio? Got me to watch a lot of the perfect. Look, this is not the Henry Ford show. I'm not here to be like just talking crazy. We're doing analysis, all right? And the person who called President Trump the word that we saw there, is Tucker Carlson. So we're going to look at that. I'm very excited to cover it. Oh, it's 10 o'clock, dude. Give me 1 second and we'll start the show proper. I just want to get these on. Let me see if they work. You guys are going to see them?
Patriot.
Perfect. All right. Welcome to the King Leo Show, everyone. I'm your host, King Leo. How's everyone doing tonight? How you doing, Monkey Land? How you doing, Eves? How you doing, J-Boss? I'm excited to be here tonight, dude. What a weekend, huh? Lots of stuff going on. It's a crazy time. Because of that, I think we really have to get into it. We have to skip the plug. So before we get into it, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you're new here. I really appreciate that. If you can join on the... Sorry, guys. I'm pulling up Schizo Watch. There we go. If you can join on the Patreon, it's greatly appreciated. It helps a lot. It's probably the thing that helps the show the most. I know Eves is in there. Appreciate you, Eves. We also have Ringo Lamb. I don't think he comes on the channel. I think he just likes the movie stuff on the Patreon, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I'm very, this is going to be great. Let me do this here. Yeah, we're going to cover a lot of interesting stuff today. I think it's going to be a little bit controversial here, but don't worry. We're not. Listen, man, I don't follow this Israel thing. You guys, you know what we're talking about. All right, let's get into it. Let's start with Schizo Watch, because this country and the world is going nuts. I want to start here, man, with the president of Colombia. You would think that I'd like him, but I really don't. I just find him to be annoying. Honestly, I really do find him to be annoying. He's the reason that everything is happening the way it's happening, because he cucked immediately. He picked a fake fight with Trump and cucked during the early days of the administration. If you don't remember, does it even matter what it was about? Do you even care? Is what I'm saying even of relevance? No, it's not. Just doesn't even matter if we like him or not. All right, whatever. Let's see what he posted. This AI slop here. Let me read the tweet first. This would be a fine shindig of dialogue between civilizations, as long as they're not thinking of wiping them out with a barrage of missiles. It's a great alliance for life. It's the grand bargain. As I said to President Trump, civilizations must not disappear. Obviously, this is a reference to Trump's anger at Iran. You're not, dude, look at what he posted, man.
Se me perdió la cadenita con el Cristo del Nazareno que tú me regalaste, Carmen, que tú me regalaste, que tú me regalaste.
I really think he is like the ultimate John Lennon president, Petro. This is the president of Colombia here in AI, obviously, with Claudia Sheinbaum, the president of Mexico, singing. And I kind of love it. It is kind of, look, Kim Jong-un, it's a very positive message if you take it at face value, Imagine there are, how does that song go? Imagine there's no countries, no hell below us. I mean, it's really a beautiful message if you think about it. He's over, this is so, dude, this is so silly. Imagine, dude, I have a cousin who lives in Colombia. her kids can't go outside because there's gangbangers, and she's looking at the president of Colombia post this on Twitter. I don't, it's so good. It's so good. I'm very, how can you live in this country? I would go mad living in this country with this president. She actually kind of likes him, to be honest, because he's been good on wages. But you're the president of Colombia and you're posting this. But, you know, it's a great message. We are the world. We are the children. That would be fun. I really think that's what the celebrities were going for with the Imagine video. But it just didn't come off properly. How you doing, Will? All right. Let's continue. That's a little Latin American. I know you won't be fans of that. Let's watch over here the latest Iran drop. By the way, these Iranians, man, they made a huge mistake with these peace talks, I think. They really did. My producer is the one who was suspecting it first. These Iranians, how you doing, Audio Vibes, thought that asking for peace would work out, like taking up Trump on the peace talks, but they lost their whole aura, like their whole madman, I will fucking kill everyone shit. Like they really did lose it. And now you're kind of like, I can afford gas again. It's not that bad. It is bad, but it's not that bad. You really should have kept it pushing if you wanted to win, but they didn't. And I just don't know. Anyway, this is their latest propaganda, which we've been following, which is great stuff. Great stuff here.
Yeah. 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 He on the phone talking tough like a sitcom dad. All caps in the chat, little finger so mad. Bomb this, hit that, like a board game brag. While the map got names that he barely can flag. Golf cart general, sweet side strategy. Talking about war like it's brand new batteries. Change them, charge them, quick clip fantasy. Meanwhile kids duck, dust, breathe gasoline. He say maximum pressure, that's a phrase, not the plan. Heard it from a guy who heard it from a man. Oil on the brain, camera in his hand. Turn the whole coastline to a campaign ad. Loose lips, tight sanctions. Whole world watching the tantrum. Talk big from a gold top mansion, but you can't bomb your way to an answer. Loose lips, tight sanctions. Real lives under those captions. Talk boy like it's just transactions, but you can't bomb your way to an answer. No, you can't. He say fire and fury like it's cable talk. Treat nukes like props in a lobby walk. Pull a pen from his tie, started drawing chalk. Lines on lives he will never have to walk. Rats for the base, got the crowd all deuce. Wave a flag, self-fear, cut truth loose. Stack chips off clips, talk peace in the suit. Leave vets with the bill and the folded salute. I ran on the screen, he just seeing the stage. Ancient streets, long prayers, real names, real age. But it's ratings all over the page. Flip whole histories for a 15-second raid. Loose lips, tight sanctions. Whole world watching the tantrums. Talk big from a gold top mansion, but you can't bomb your way to an answer. Loose lips, tight sanctions. Real lies under those captions. Talk war like it's just transactions, but you can't bomb your way to an answer. No, you can't.
Whoever this, first of all, sensational stuff. Whoever the black guy who's rapping this, because it has to be a black American guy, they are going to kill you. Like, dude, you need to hide. You need to go full Asada Shakur and get to Cuba. They're going to kill you. Dude, because he went from like, it was like Eminem, and then this one's more Bone Thugs and Harmony, you know, loose lips type sanctions. They're going to kill you. You need to make sure you never come back. If you're here and you've been doing this on Fiverr or for some like an extra gallon of gas that Iran sends you, they will kill you. Dude, you're gonna be like FBI's most wanted. We're gonna see some like the most Atlanta rapper you've seen, Lil B, $50,000 dead or alive from the State Department. They're gonna pull the Osama bin Laden raid on this rapper. But more importantly, and this is what I'm saying about the oral. Look, I like it. It's good. But look at this. There's no animation here. Did they lose some money? I mean, they're collecting that toll. These are just images. I like to see the story told. You know, It's good. It's absolutely, it's good. It's good.
Sensational.
It is good. I'm not going to hate on it, but you got to spend the money on it. You know, the magic, I don't know, man. Who won this war? Do you know who won? I really don't know. I was thinking about it over the week. I'm like, I think I might have won this war personally because no one I know died during this war. So does that mean that I win the war? Because America seems to have lost some people and Iran lost some people. Israel obviously lost some people, but I didn't lose anyone. Who wins the war here? You know,
Netanyahu, what do you have to say?
I'm waiting for the guy, man. I'm waiting for Bibi to let us know who won. All right, let's continue. No, we can skip this for the day, dude. We can get back to this. Now we have to see the latest, dude. Like, this is real goy stuff, man.
I can't stand these fucking people, man. The joke is becoming a reality. Every day I hate one more person. They drive me crazy, man.
And this is going to be a theme of this show tonight, man. There was this debate that Michael Tracy did with this guy called Kurt Mills, I think. And we're going to watch a part of it. It is great because he's the first one to hold accountable any conservative / Trump supporter. Because everyone has been saying, like, Trump is like Schopenhauer's Trump. He's actually the most Baudrillardian, Baudrillardians check in, president we've ever had, where nothing is really his fault. No one can say that he did anything wrong, whether you love or hate him, right? So what we're going to see here is this ad that is just so goyed out. It's such a goy ad because people are mad that Trump did not deport the people properly, that in the way they wanted to. And I'm just wondering what you think is going to happen that is going to permit that. And I'll explain more after we watch this. How you doing, Handcrafted? I haven't seen you here before. Let's watch here.
Republican voters demanded mass deportation. They said they would stand with President Trump and secure the border. Then they got to Congress and stabbed us in the back. Enough. Homeland PAC is the first super PAC dedicated to ending the career of every Republican who supports amnesty and sells out the American people on immigration. If you vote with the Open Borders lobby, if you block deportations, if you refuse to secure the border, we will primary you, expose you, and defeat you. You made the promise. Now keep it or lose your seat.
These fucking assholes! The fuck is their problem, man?
I don't understand how. Do you see how stupid this is? This is absolving President Trump and any of the people who ran. They literally had signs that said mass deportations now. But no, it's not their fault. It's the fault of these other people. Of these people who are in the Congress that need to be primaried out. This conserva slop, dude. These conservatives, man.
Conservatives are the worst. You cannot work with them. You have to be in opposition to them. You have to oppose them constantly, even when they sound like you, especially when they sound like you. And you need to deplatform conservatives.
My beef with conservatives is just, it's getting bigger by the day because a conservative is the perfect mark. They never made cattle better than a conservative. Let me get this straight. You voted for mass deportations. That was a promise that the Trump campaign made to you. Look, I might not be in favor of that. I might. That's irrelevant. You voted for that. You didn't get it. You didn't get it. But it's not his fault. It's the fault of all of these other people. Yeah, and what you're going to do is they're making this into abortion. If you don't remember, abortion in this country up until 2 years ago was the most annoying, stupid issue that all my life I had to deal with, where people were like, don't abort the kids. And then the other people were, I love aborting kids. Aborting kids is my favorite pastime. Abortion is good. No, abortion is bad. Listen, I didn't care. I sincerely didn't care, dude. I don't plan on getting an abortion myself. I don't have a uterus. I really don't care. And the people who are going to get it regardless. So whatever. That wasn't ever my beef. Okay. My issue is they are never going to mass deport people because you are such a mark, such a chud, that you will send money to this pack. This kind of thing is going to become very common over the next 50 years. As more people are let into the country, which you can be in favor or against, I don't really care. It's up to you. All right. They are going to exploit this by making this kind of stuff so that you send them money. This is incredibly obvious. You are going to be, I knew a liberal woman. I know a liberal woman. Okay, I know liberal woman. I like liberal. I know liberal woman. I've worked with liberal woman. You are not a liberal woman, right? And she would donate every year to Planned Parenthood. She was like, we need to make sure that abortion is kept illegal. And they finally made it illegal. And I just looked at her like this.
If the rule you followed brought you to this, of what use was the rule?
You work at a fucking McDonald's. This was a lower class liberal woman. And you send money out of your paycheck to people who were not even able to keep one thing legal for you. And I'm sure she's still sending them money. You can't even be mad because this is so stupid. Like it's something that you look at the person sending the money and you're just, God damn, dude, I should start one of these packs. I really should. I should start the what do conservatives care about? Like, oh, I'm gonna start the Black Rifle Company super PAC so that everyone has to buy Black Rifle coffee. I bet you I would get rich off that. These people, they are animals, man. Like these goys, bro. Like. I pick on my fellow Gentile a lot. But this kind of stuff is really where I'm like, dude, you are cattle. Like, you have to be cattle. You have to be cattle. There is no way that you are not cattle if you are sending money to this. Listen, to make it really simple, because I'm actually good at this at analogies. If I promise you that I'm going to give you a Cadillac, no, that's a shit car. If I'm going to give you $5,000 tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow. And I'm like, we're going to give you $5,000. And you're like, okay, thank you. And I tell you, not only am I going to give you $5,000, I am going to give you so many dollars that it's going to be $5,000 that you're going to be tired. You're going to be begging me, no more $5,000. We love $5,000. You go, okay, man, I get it. You're going to give me $5,000. I appreciate it. Or you're even excited. You're like, hell yeah, fine. And tomorrow comes, and instead of $5,000, I assault you. What would you do? You wouldn't ask me for $5,000 again. You wouldn't even want to be near me. And nothing against people who love Trump. That's fine. But you see this on the right and the left, but especially the right now, where this chud maxing crap. Oh, you wanted $5,000? How about instead you get on your knees and I have a gun? That is what it is. And people just keep falling for it. They, on the liberal side, on the conservative side. Quite honestly, I might just start a pack like this, man. Why not? This is how you should do this. This is probably a good way to make money. Start a pack scam like this. They'll keep voting. Dude, people love to vote. The people, they love voting. They can't eat.
I can't eat. I'm broke, nigga. I'm broke.
But they will send money to PACs and vote. They love that. That's their favorite thing to do. Am I going to be mad at them? Are you mad at the scorpion who bites the frog? No, man. No. I can't do it. How you doing, Ephra? How you doing? It's crazy. It is crazy that this is how it goes. Speaking of propaganda, let's watch this one here. This one's great. This one is good.
President Trump is standing with Israel and fighting to end Iranian terrorism. Tucker Carlson is attacking our president for keeping America and Israel safe.
It is maybe the most real thing this president has ever done, and also the most revealing. On every level, it is vile. On every level.
President Trump attacked Tucker Carlson as a low IQ person and a fool. But Ken Paxton still accepts Tucker Carlson's endorsement.
I'm rooting for you.
Well, thank you.
No one else agrees, but I'm on your side.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate it.
Unreal. Ken Paxton is taking Carlson's side over President Trump. President Trump and MAGA stand with Israel. Ken Paxton and Tucker Carlson stand for nothing. It's time for the crook to renounce the fool.
Sensational.
Oh, boy, why is there money being counted here? The crook should renounce the fool. That's funny because Tucker wrote the book Ship of Fools. Actually, a good book. I recommend it. And I usually don't read books made after 2000. We are levels of simulation. This is levels of simulation that I don't understand, man. You are using, someone doesn't want, Tucker Carlson's not running for anything, but you can use Tucker Carlson endorsement to attack someone else because even our political things, our ads are getting schizo. If you look at this ad, this requires some yarn and like a map in the back. So Tucker Carlson and Donald Trump don't like each other. Donald Trump actually called him low IQ, but Mr. Paxton over here got endorsed by by Tucker Carlson. So because of that, then Ken Paxton is actually low IQ because President Trump called Tucker Carlson low IQ. So now they're both low IQ. And if you vote for Ken Paxton, you're low IQ. And also you don't support Israel.
That's right, bro.
How do you expect anyone to stay sane in this country? This is insane. This is actually crazy. And I'm sure this ad is somewhat effective because it's so insane that you go, who am I supposed to vote for here? Who am I supposed to like or dislike? Am I supposed to dislike Tucker Carlson? Who's the bad guy in the ad? Who's the good guy? How you doing, CCTV? Tucker Carlson owes you money. He owes me money too, man. I've been trying to collect on a debt from Tucker Carlson for years, man. I did some contracting work on his cabin in Maine, and he has never paid me. That's actually where I met, because it was me and the guy who sucked Obama's cock that he interviewed for 2 hours about gay sex. We were working on his cabin, and he stiffed me. He said, if Trump can do it, I can do it too. Oh! And that was how it worked. Great stuff. Let's continue. Let's watch over here one of my least favorite people. Dude, you already know what Ro Khanna is.
Oh, coons, we want to have fun. Oh, coons, we want to have fun.
Let's watch Ro Khanna go head to head, tete-a-tete with a young conservative black woman. And when a black woman speaks, you sit your ass down and listen. I know I sit my spick ass down and listen. Let's listen to what she has to say to the senator. Is he a senator? What is Ro Khanna? Ro Khanna is not really a senator. He's kind of like a private investigator. He's a police officer. He's also a tech genius. He's also an Indian nationalist that's attacking the British crown. He's also a Democrat. He's also a father, I assume. I'm not sure if he's a senator, because with all this Epstein investigations, you know, really, the guy who was supposed to fight Silicon Valley, boy, has he done a great job at that. I don't know what his title is. It's probably the Honorable Investigator, Ro Khanna. Let's see what he has to say here to this young black woman.
My frustration is, as a regular, everyday American citizen, I feel that I am more likely to be harmed by democratic policies such as open borders. Because in your state,
I'm for secure borders.
Okay, but in your state, something like 4,600 or so illegal migrants that had criminal records were re-released from jail. So when we're talking about harming Americans, when we're talking about children potentially being harmed, when we're looking into child trafficking, we have to acknowledge that illegal migration is the biggest funnel for child trafficking. So when we're worried about Epstein with a couple of people, and you guys turn a blind eye to tens of thousands of children being harmed by your policies, that's a problem.
We have been for a secure border, but here's what I want.
No one in California can say that they're for a secure border.
Impressive. Very nice.
This whole country is two people fighting about who, you know, there used to be this thing. I don't know if you remember it. I actually met Larry Elder once, and I said it to him because I was like, I was being ironic, obviously. And I was like, Larry Elder, who are the real racists? And like clockwork, the Democrats, you know, there used to be this thing. I'm sure they still say it, the conservative. Who are the real racists? It's the Democrats. Which is like, brother, you've been saying this. Whatever, putting that aside. Now it's, who's the real pedophile? This is the whole country now. It is two people who are probably, I don't even know if undereducated is the word, man, but people who are people who should be having fun. Honestly, what is this young black woman doing here talking to Ro Khanna? I mean, look at her. This is a, I'm not a big fan of tattoos. This is a tasteful tattoo. This is good hair. This is a very nice look. She knows how to dress. What is she doing talking to Ro Khanna? This woman should be out at the beach on a surfboard. She should be out at the nightclub. Okay? But she's here talking to Ro Khanna. If I had a choice between talking to Ro Khanna and surfing, I would pick. You're in California, and you're choosing to spend your time talking to Ro Khanna. I rather pull out my own nails with a rusty wrench than talk to Ro Khanna about anything. If Ro Khanna left Congress and started working at Starbucks, I would avoid him. If Ro Khanna became an Uber driver, I would block him. If Ro Khanna, I don't know, and became, if he had a TV show, I would mute it. If Ro Khanna opened a restaurant, I would buy the food and spit in it. This is a stupid person. Okay. I have the choice between spending an afternoon with Ro Khanna or enjoying a very nice, delicious Mexican treat in California. You're talking about all these illegals. Well, you know, they're already there. You might as well go enjoy a nice pupusa, a nice taco. If they're there, you might as well. But no, you're going to spend your time talking to Ro Khanna. It's like people don't have priorities. I'd rather have hummus shoved up my ass than talk to Ro Khanna.
Do you waterboard him? Do you sleep deprive him? Do you put him in a cold cell? Do you beat him? Do you put cockroaches on him? Do you put hummus up his ass?
Why else? What else are we doing? I mean, why would I spend time with Ro Khanna? Why would I? I'm afraid Ro Khanna is going to scam me or something. But no, I guess it's two schizophrenics fighting till the end of time. That is the American country. The American country, you go out to a Publix to buy a banana, and you have to hear two people. This literally happened to me, dude. I went to Publix to get a banana, and I watched a like 25-year-old girl with blue hair and tattoos. I'm not even fucking with you, dude. I'm not making this up. I swear. Fighting with a boomer in a MAGA hat at full volume. I'm just trying to buy a banana and see if they have the Cherry Sakura Red Bull. Great flavor. And I have to listen to this. I'm literally getting raped at Publix by political talk, and all I want is a banana.
You can't do it. It's disgusting.
This is the whole country. The whole country is Jubilee. Anywhere you go, it's going to be Jubilee. I don't know what they're fighting about. I don't care. The illegals are bad. The illegals are good. I don't care. They're already here. Maybe they can build a house and sell me a taco. Houses are a little expensive. Maybe the illegals should just build the houses. They're already here. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just a sensible centrist. Shout out to Academic Agent. I'm not aggravated. This is sensational.
Sensational.
Eve says, when you add the extra passion in your impressions, they're very fun. Well, we'll do that. We'll do that. Tucker gets that out of me. Now, this one here, this one, look, this is Mark Kelly. Mark Kelly is one of these astronauts. I'm sure the white people are going to love what I love white people. White people are going to love what I have to say here, all right?
When you're the commander, you get some say in who your other crew members are going to be. So the last thing I would want in a space shuttle crew would be 7 white guy, U.S. Navy, test pilots like me. It would be a disaster.
You are fighting against America and you hate white people.
Listen, man, I'm just a Latino, all right? Latinos, we saw it here. They've been polled. We're the ones that want to go most to outer space. It's Latinos at the top, more than whites, more than blacks, more than Asians. I have to tell you, if I'm in a space shuttle, not only would I love to have 7 white guys with me, this is going to be controversial. I need them to be card-carrying members of the National Socialist Party of Germany. I need 7 Nazis with me, and we're not going to get along. Of course not. I don't agree with what they have to say. They probably don't even speak fucking English. They're going to be yelling in German at each other about about how World War II was a mistake. I'm going to be over there eating a space arepa, and they're going to be... You know why? Because that's who the government hired when we got to the moon. I don't want 7 Latinos with me in the space shuttle. It seems to me that no Latino country except Cuba has had a Latino in space. Why would I not want the most Nazi white guy with me in the space capsule? Maybe Mark Kelly knows something that I don't, but my understanding is that the people who got us to the moon were literally not... I know that America doesn't like to talk about it. It would have to be that, or like 7 Soviets or something. But I'm not going into the space capsule with 7 Latinos. I don't trust my people enough to do that. I would love for them to be there if there were also 7 Soviets there. But why would you... I just don't understand this, and I'm not saying there's not talented black people and Latino astronauts or whatever. Are there Latino astronauts? Is that even a thing? I bet there is, But I would prefer if it were the people who got us to the moon who did that, I'm not even saying 7 Americans, dude. I need 7 communists straight out of Stalin's Russia, or 7 Nazis. I'm not doing it with Latinos. I can't do it. We'd probably mess it up. We'd probably be salsa dancing too much and crash the spaceship. That's what would happen. Ephra says, they literally almost pulled me into a debate. I just walked out and said, you won the debate, whatever. Who did that, Ephra? But tell me the story, please. I'm very curious. What happened? And I think we're going to end Schizo Watch here, dude. This is the Daily Show. I hope this doesn't get flagged. I'm going to speed it up so it doesn't give us any issues. If the stream goes down, I'll bring it back. Let's see what the Daily Show is covering here, man. Let's see what the Daily Show. One funny moment there. I'll admit one funny moment.
We live in hell. We live in the gutter.
Look, I love women. You will not find someone who loves women more than me. I am the #1 woman lover. I'm not one of these guys who's out here hating women. I hate Myron Gaines. I don't like Myron Gaines. I think Myron Gaines is a Sudanese federal agent who ruined my city. I have a personal issue with Myron Gaines, all right? I don't like walking around downtown or Brickell and seeing people in Miami yelling at each other because I'm a high value man. You just a hoe. I don't like to see that. That's not, I don't even like to go downtown anymore. It was one of my favorite areas of the city because of that. I don't want to get stopped for a street interview.
You can't keep getting away with it! You can't keep getting away with it!
Setting that aside, I hate Myron Gaines. I think it's really ironic. The quality of the Daily Show has really declined. And what I find so disturbing here is, not disturbing, but just, it's like liberals I hate conservatives. But I hate liberals. They're a little bit more, I like liberals. Look, liberals make the best coffee. They're really nice. They make good food or whatever. They get on my nerves too, whatever. My people are more like the edges, I like the edges. Except for libertarians. Someone called Dave Smith. What I will say, though, is this. I hate Myron Gaines. I really do. And I don't think his message is positive. I think young men need to pull ourselves up by our jockstrap. We need to take some cues from the boomer. However, Leslie Jones is one of the fattest and loudest people on the planet. Okay, Leslie Jones is... by the way, this is a minstrel show. This is shucking and jiving. This is bad.
Oh, go shuck and jive, I'm gonna shuck and jive, I'm gonna get on down and tap dance, I'm gonna shuck and...
As someone who actually likes black people, I do like black people a lot. Whenever I go to a black neighborhood, I'm sure to eat there. I love their food, all right? I love black culture. I love African-American vernacular English. I love the subcultures. I love Zora Neale Hurston. Look, I love black people. This is a minstrel show. It seems everyone in this country wants a minstrel show. They want the loudest. They want, on the left, they want the loudest, most, and I'm not the only one saying this, dude. Check in on the Hoteps. They say this all the time. They want the loudest, most annoying version of a black woman on TV. They don't want someone else. And on the conservative side, they want like Byron Donalds. That's what they want. This minstrel show stuff, I really thought it was left behind in the 1800s. Why would you make something... I really am wondering here how they decided this. Why would you make something about how women and men need to get along and they're great, and like these podcasters are wrong, and the voice you choose is a fat, loud woman on the Daily Show who's also ugly, and I'm going to say that because she has the amount of money that she can get work done. She can afford Ozempic. There's no reason she should be that fat. And she's going to yell at the audience, you just gave Myron Gaines another 1 million subscribers, Leslie Jones. And I don't like that, personally. I don't. This is the retardation in the country. Yelling about, wouldn't you pick, I don't know, like a guy to say, hey man, I could be like, hey man, Myron Gaines is probably not a good role model, okay? You want to go out there and get a woman, I'm going to give you real advice. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to boomer it, okay? You want to go out there and get yourself a woman? Brother, why don't you do this instead? Why don't you move to Europe for 3 months? You'll get a wife. How about you do that? Or Africa, or China, or Latin America. It's going to be a lot easier, okay? Now, I'll teach you how to vet, and everything. But this idea of like constantly fighting with women, you could also do it in America. It's not a big deal. It's just harder because everyone is affluent in this country. That would be more persuasive than having a loud, fat woman yell at everyone and getting Myron Gaines a bunch of subscribers. I find this disgusting.
You can't do it. It's disgusting.
And I pray that the Daily Show, it's just, never, I can't say that. All right, the Daily Show should end. All right, let's get to our next segment.
The people are retarded.
All right, we have to start here. This is a mini segment here. We have to start here. One of my favorite punching bags on the show, who is Sneako. For those who are not aware, Sneako he lives in Miami. And it's just, I live in hell, brother.
We live in hell. We live in the gutter.
Sneako lives in Miami. Sneako is a Filipino, Haitian guy from New York who's Muslim. Nothing against any of those things. I love Haitian people. They're actually very cool. I like spending time in Little Haiti. I like going to Little Haiti. I like drinking a beer under the Toussaint Louverture statue. You can catch me out there all the time, refreshing my French with the Haitians. I love Haiti. I need to go to the actual country. All right. Filipinos, I don't really know them, but they eat chicken heart. I like chicken heart. And New York, I hate New York, but I love New York, but I hate being there. Okay, it's a terrible place. Whatever. Sneako is probably, as Donald Trump would say, a low IQ person. Every time Sneako opens his mouth, I stand my spick ass up and walk away. If you listen to Sneako, you will actively become more stupid. Okay, Sneako has been a Muslim for like 6 years and didn't know that ribs were made of pork. That's who you're taking your cues from. Now, Sneako is leading this intellectual movement by interviewing another punching bag of the show, Professor Jiang, who is actually not, it's like the Holy Roman Empire thing, like not holy, not Roman, not empire. He's not a professor, not Chinese, and his name isn't even Xiang. Okay, we should start saying that Professor Xiang is actually Korean, and he was sent by the Japanese government to corrupt China. That's the kind of lore I would like to see. And Alexander Dugin, who is the schizo that runs the Kremlin in some ways, and they sat down to discuss world events. Wait, and you're already riveted. This is gonna be amazing. Let's watch a clip of these three geniuses over here. Let's watch what they fucking talk about. This is great stuff.
So it is difficult to judge where Trump's madness stops and some rationale appears. So I could not be expert in that. So he seems to be very special psychologically, and at the same time we could grasp some hidden second plan scenario behind his behavior. So I think that maybe Trump was chosen as very specific psychological person by some Western deeper state, not just liberal globalist deep state, but deeper state, who wanted to use these radical tools to rearrange the falling domination of the West with drastic radical measures, and after that to say, oh, you're a scapegoat, your family, your MAGA group, we will destroy, kill all of you, we put you in prison for life sentences, but the situation will be changed already. So maybe it is some special kind of weapon, secret weapon of hyper-globalists, not just liberal globalists, but technate, exactly, something that considered to woke globalist agenda as some obstacle, as we see in Peter Thiel or Alex Karp, Technological Republic. This idea, so enough with the humanitarian hypocrisy. Let's represent the power as such, the nude, naked Western power, hegemony, domination in open style. And Trump,
Pardon me. It's not what we meant to do.
Disgusting and gross. I mean, he should just be... I don't like ugly, stupid freaks.
Did you just hear what this Russian man said? What Alexander Dugin said? And Professor Yang and Sneako they nodded their heads to. He just said that Trump, who he supported, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not a Duginist, okay? If I wanted to read the ramblings of a Russian schizophrenic, I would read Rasputin or something. He just said that Trump was not picked by the deep state, but he was picked by the deeper deep state in order to be executed so that the deeper deep state could rearrange the world in a way that circumvented the regular deep state. What the hell are you talking about? What are you talking about? Listen, man. No, that's probably true. That's probably true, okay? It is true. And there's actually the deeper deep state. There's the deepest, deeper deep state. And they actually chose to not have Trump in. They wanted Kamala, the deepest, deeper deep state, and they're fighting with the deeper deep state to defeat the deeper state and bring the deep state of hyper liberals, as he called hyper globalists, to win the real battle. Dude, what the fuck are we talking about, man?
Some of them going to sleep. Fuck God!
How is this not designed to drive you insane? Does this look, and let's be clear here. I'm sure Alexander Dugin has something worth saying. I read one of his books, The Fourth Political Power Theory. I read that in 2021. I don't remember it. It was an interesting read. However, I have to say, I would like to be there when he's saying this stuff so that I could ask him, hey, Dugin, instead of being Sneako and wondering, I bet the whole time here he's wondering about which kinds of ribs have pork in them and which ones don't. That's probably what he's wondering the whole time. I would like to ask him, hey, Mr. Dugin, can you slow down for a second? What the fuck are you talking about? The deeper deep state. Can you explain that to me? Who makes up the deeper deep state? And is there a deep state that's even deeper than that one? But no clarifying question. This is just the brain trust over here, man. This is the greatest thing ever. I'm a masochist, man. I'm a masochist for watching it. Efra says, by the way, favorite person. Stop, dude, you're going to get exiled.
Shut up. Be quiet before you get exiled.
Why? I'm not even... Good thing I hate everything's not here, because he would do it too. You guys... I'm not getting my cortisol spiked. Hang on, but there was even better stuff. This is a great question here that Sneako asked. I think this is probably one of the deepest questions or one of the deepest thoughts that these two professors have had to hear.
And if that is described by what we see in Euphoria, the new TV show, Sydney Sweeney dressed up like a baby, doing this weird fetish thing, not to make it too disgusting early.
Shut up, man. Man, listen. You ain't got to say. Listen.
That's Sneako's interjection. Sneako's interjection is to ask about Euphoria, the television show adapted from an Israeli TV show about teenagers having sexual intercourse in high school. How does this work, man? Like how do you watch this? How do you watch this? How do you watch this? This is this democracy? Is this what I need to get Glenn Beck to let me borrow AI George Washington so I can ask AI George Washington, when George Washington was fighting at the Battle of Yorktown, killing British people, watching the life go out of their eyes, was he picturing Sneako, Professor Yang, and Alexander Dugin on a Zoom call talking about euphoria? Is that what they fought for in the American Revolution? Is that what, when FDR in all of his eternal glory dropped, well, actually Harry Truman, but FDR directed it so he gets credit, contemplated making cities disappear with nuclear weapons? Was he saying, yeah, I'm doing this for Alexander Dugin, Professor Yang, and Sneako? I doubt he said that. I doubt.
Sensational.
Absolutely great. But I have to update you this here. This happened today, and I disavow this. This is bad. Don't do this, man. Sneako may be stupid, but no one deserves this. Let's see what happened to Sneako today after this interview.
You did. What the? Whoa. Hey, bro. What the fuck, bro? What the fuck, bro? What the fuck, bro? What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck? What's the problem, bro? Hey, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck?
So the thing is, it's not funny, CCTV. This isn't good. Now, what I want to see Sneako call Alexander Dugin again and Professor Yang, because this man here who punched, we can see again, it was a bad punch here. Look at this. It was like kind of like a guillotine. This man here, I'm starting to think that this man in the Dr. Pepper t-shirt and the beanie is actually working for the CIA or Mossad or MI6. This African-American gentleman, from what we can gather here, is punching Sneako because he works for an intelligence agency. And what Sneako is doing by interviewing these like really amazing figures is that he's making himself dangerous. Sneako is the Malcolm X of today. He is the Martin Luther King of today. They're trying to get him because, and look, obviously this is bad. You shouldn't do this. But I'm just saying, Sneako, you might want to be careful. You might want to stop talking and giving opinions. I'm not saying that because I don't like your opinions and I think that you're mentally retarded. I'm saying that because you might be the biggest patriot of all time, okay? Like total patriot.
Patriot.
And what's happening here is that the Mossad is sending African Americans in the Dr. Pepper shirt to take you out. And I would just advise you, it'd be best if you just didn't talk anymore. And maybe even Dave Smith should look out for men in the Dr. Pepper t-shirt, all right? But this is obviously bad. You shouldn't do this. This is not good. I'm not even being ironic. It's not funny. You shouldn't. I think that it's a pussy move. I've never liked the sucker punch thing. I think it's pretty gross. Why would you do this to someone? I just don't. It's very, very low. I don't believe in fighting at all. But this is probably just some CIA agent, dude, who was like, I'm tired of you talking to Russians. And he was like, boom, that's probably what happened. So I hope to hear his chat with Professor Dugin about it. Afra says, actually, the deepest deep state is the military-industrial complex, and that's not a conspiracy. It's true. That is true. That is true, Afra. Yeah, at the end of the day, money does move a lot of things. Absolutely. 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 No, nothing to push back on there. I think that this, because we have to get to the main stories, okay? Absolutely, Afra. I actually agree with that. I do. I wanted to show you this here because we need to introduce a Spenglerian concept here.
What do I think of peptides? Here you go. The most commonly taken peptides right now are the GLP-1s, Ozempic, Mounjaro, Retta. These can be super effective for helping you lose weight, but the data suggests you can gain the weight 4 times faster than stopping exercise when you come off these. The main issue I have with the GLPs is that you could definitely lose weight. I've seen it happen hundreds of times simply by improving the quality of your diet and getting out in the sun and moving a little bit. If you can't or you won't do that, GLPs can be very effective and they can improve your health. There are definitely side effects. Do not get Ozempic, but make sure you're eating enough protein, but realize you're probably going to be on these medications for the rest of your life. Other classes of peptides are the recovery peptides like BPC 157 and TB 500, popularized by all sorts of influencers. These can be helpful for acute bouts of recovery, but we don't know what the cancer risk of these is long-term, and TB500 definitely in animal models can reactivate dormant cancers. Another category of peptides are the growth hormone secretagogues like CJC 1295 and ipamorelin, sermorelin. These might help with sleep and maybe body composition in the short term, but the effects are only going to last a few weeks after you stop them. I don't see the point of these. I think you're better off just improving your diet and your lifestyle. I know it's not sexy, but I think that works long-term. I will say that the growth hormone secretagogues are better than using growth hormone, but I'm not a fan of these either long-term. Here's what I look like as a 48-year-old male who's never used peptides, never used TRT, never used steroids. It isn't a brag. This is just the blueprint for what's possible. Fix your diet, improve your life.
All right. So why am I showing this on this segment? You know, this segment is the goyim have gone insane. Why am I showing my goy here do this? Why? Because we have to introduce a concept. I don't know if I've talked about it before on stream. Spengler, a great writer who wrote The Decline of the West. He spoke of, in the future, this class of people called the Falahin that would rise as postmodernity got more and more crazy. He saw this in the 20s, okay? Way back in the day. The Falahin are people who will refuse technology out of spite, out of a sense of purity. They will refuse convenience. They will make their lives more difficult in order to preserve something. Now, as a Baudrillardian, I think that's absolutely silly. This is Paul Saladino, one of the top Falahins in the world. And that's not necessarily a pejorative. They're just going to exist. I'm not a doctor. I'm really not. However, here we see something where it really boggles the mind. We have a technology that we developed 40 years ago called GLP-1, which, according to all trials, carries no risk. It is something your body makes. It has cured diabetes. It helps with weight loss. It's being prescribed right now. Yet, people are rejecting it. Like this health type of, and some of you might say, oh, you know, it's because it's a grift, you know, like they have to grift, and if they grift, you know. No, I think it's deeper, actually. I think it's actually, and look out for this in your life, dude, because I'm not saying that everything is good. I'm not saying that. I look at materials when I buy clothes. I'm getting new underwear that's 100% cotton because it was too much of a polyester blend, the previous one, because it's not good for you, right? You should look at that kind of stuff. There's a lot of, all that glitters is not gold. However, with time, you're going to see people that refuse to get with the times. They refuse to come with us into they don't want to go through. The only way out is through. And I'm not saying I take GLP-1. I'm not saying you should either. What I'm saying here is that this is an archetype that is going to be very common in the West. That is, there is no nobility in poverty. We already knew that. There is no nobility in losing weight naturally anymore. There is no nobility in not using a GLP. What would be the problem with that? You know, because I'm better because I didn't do it this way? It's really silly. And yeah, I see Ephra says like the Luddites. It's like the Luddites, but the Luddites had a point. The Luddites were saying that the quality would decline. And I think that that's obviously true. If you look at like shoes made in the early 20th century versus now, the ones made back then were better. Okay? And that was lost with machining. However, here, and this is why you should always be skeptical. You should always be skeptical of these health claims or any of these claims, man. Look, for example, I don't wear AirPods. I use the wired ones, okay? Because the wired ones they don't communicate with each other. The ones that are AirPods, they do. And for some, I think that EMF may cause a problem. However, I will use a Bluetooth headset because they're not communicating with each other. You can be smart about it, but this is rejecting things on the surface for no reason other than like some sort of rejection of modernity, of postmodernity. They just don't like it. It's the last man creating his own struggle. And I don't think this is necessarily a great thing for you, man. I think you should take advantage of things that work and things that are proven. You know, I mean, what bothers me about this archetype of person is that it's so goyish, man. Like, it's just, why would you not take advantage of the fruits of postmodernity? Why would you not use them to your advantage? I would like to leverage all of them. And if you don't, just so you know, this will probably be 10% of the global population, and you will have an edge over them. So that's a little bit of a white pill, all right? J-Boss says, how about cheaper? Fasting is free. First thing that's generous in modern shoes is really the glue. And yes, I'm a Portuguese who knows about shoes. What's the Portuguese shoe brand, dude, called? It's a really good one. I wear Santoni and Pastori, but I was looking at these Portuguese shoes that are actually still made, and they're really good. It's a really old factory because they have the cork for the Goodyear welting over there. And look, yeah, the thing is cost, right? J-Boss says like, oh, fasting is free. That's true. However, even that has been eliminated with postmodern credit and borrowing systems. And, you know, a lot of these people, this is like Dave Ramsey, right? He's like, pay off your house or something. Why would you do that? Why would you give up capital? Whatever, putting that aside. Ozempic is $2,000 for 6 months from a compound factory, and it's going to get cheaper. And you can put it on Klarna and get a payment as low as $50 a month. Any asshole with a pulse can make $50 a month, you know? And as someone who has to live here in this hell,
we live in hell. We live in the gutter.
We must, you know, look at this and say, are you rejecting this for a real reason, for a fake reason? What is the point? You know, but that's a little bit too intellectual. Let's end the Goyim have gone insane with this video here, which is just great. This is I think this is where most people are getting at in the United States at this point, unfortunately, man.
Fuck the whole United States of America, including me. Every day I wake up in this fucking country and I realize the only way to fix it is to burn this bitch to the ground. I have no confidence in politicians, elections. It's all an illusion of something better that never is gonna come. We are slaves to a system that fucking hates us and despises us. We as humans have a God-given right to live happy, prosperous lives, free from control. This is hell, and we should let this motherfucker burn.
I mean, this is the outcome of listening to the Tucker Carlson podcast. You're going to be like this in your car. And I would say he's gone insane. I don't think he's actually gone very insane. I think he's kind of, I'm not advocating this. Obviously not. I disavow this. This is bad.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
However, what I will say I like about this is there's two ways of interpreting the phrase, there is no political solution. And the first one, it's like that bus meme of the two people on the bus. The first one is like, we must be violent. 1789 will commence. The Bastille will be stormed. Or there is the much more fun Baudrillardian white MAGA, you know, you see that meme online, light MAGA or something like that, which is just like, I'm going to enjoy myself then. If this is hell, then why not have a little fun, a little Camus in my life? And not voting, which I don't advocate for, but I don't do, I will just tell you that it is part of mental liberation, man. That is really the destruction of the slave mentality.
This is exactly what I'm talking about, the slave mentality, the slave mind.
When you stop voting, when you like in Fight Club, when he lets go of the car and they get in the accident, he's like, just learn to let go. That's how you know that you can survive, you know? So I actually advocate apathy more than action. Total apathy. J-Boss says, King Leo, aren't they putting GLP-1 or whatever it's called in fast food sandwiches? They're making it resistant to GLP-1, the flavors or whatever, but I doubt that'll be successful. It's just because it doesn't make you want to eat. I have friends that have taken GLP-1 and they're like, yeah, dude, I just don't want to eat, you know? So it's supposed to be resistant. And by the way, the shoes are called Carlos Santos, dude. If you're in the EU, look for them, man. They're actually really well made. I wanted to get them, but with shipping and tariffs, it's not worth it in the US. All right, let's get to the show. Let's start here first. We gotta, you know this story, man. This is why this country's going to crazy.
C-SPAN, bringing you democracy unfiltered. President Trump spoke to reporters outside the Oval Office after having McDonald's delivered via the online food ordering service DoorDash. He then took questions from reporters on several topics, including the ongoing conflict with Iran and a recent Truth Social post depicting himself as Jesus, which he denies, saying he thought it depicted him as a doctor.
Don't you miss Kamala? Don't you miss her? It's like when they used to have the George Bush shirts that said, "Don't miss me yet." This is C-SPAN. This is a serious station. These are the people that, this is a serious thing. This is C-SPAN.
We live in hell. We live in the gutter.
Let's go through DoorDash before we get to the Pope, all right? This is what happened at the White House. This DoorDash delivery driver, who I think is probably a senior citizen.
Nice to see you. Nice to meet you. I have your DoorDash order for you, Mr. President.
Oh, that's very nice. Look at this. The reason for this is the fact that I heard you picked up an extra $11,000 because the tax bill was so big. The refund was the biggest you've ever had. Is that a correct statement?
Yeah, I saved over $11,000.
It's really, you know, we call it the Great Big Beautiful Bill. We should call it the Great Big Beautiful Tax Cut Bill because it's tremendous amounts of money.
And are the White House good tippers? Do you know?
Wait.
Potentially. Yes, very.
And I especially want to thank you for being here.
Well, I want to thank you for the no tax on tips. It has helped my family out immensely, and I definitely appreciate it. Thank you.
One of the interesting things about Belarus is that Lukashenko, who is a dictator, does this thing every year where you can look this up. It's really interesting. He creates celebrities. It's a very modern country. It's not postmodern. He creates celebrities. So the way they do it is by borrowing from the old Soviet system that they inherited. And he'll do a thing where he's like, this woman has grown the biggest watermelon in the whole Belarus. She must be famous. Let's put her face. Now, I just sound Brazilian. We must put her face all over the billboards of the country. She is a beautiful woman, grow biggest watermelon. That's how Belarus works. Like, you'll see billboards that are like the man who made the most shoes. You know, they create celebrities in this way. And, you know, from a Western perspective, it's cute, it's endearing. You know, you're like, oh, this is very... that would actually be kind of cool if they did it over here, you know, like, But if they did it over here, it wouldn't work, right? Because over there, they still have that. Over here, to be like, this woman has the most successful OnlyFans account in the world. Everyone saw her nice shaved pussy. That would be the American version of that. It wouldn't be like the biggest watermelon. It'd be like, this young man over here is the greatest gigolo who's trying to get some of that boomer money. That would be how it works. But this is the closest that America has come to that system. I wonder, first of all, White House brought to you by DoorDash and McDonald's. I mean, McDonald's, whatever, it's President Trump. He loves McDonald's. We know that, and that's fine. I like McDonald's too. I had McDonald's coffee today. It's one of my favorite coffees, although it's a little bit acidic, honestly. It's good coffee. I get it black. It's one of the only coffees that I really like black. It's a little acidic. Maybe I'll add baking soda. It will taste a little bit better. I'm going to try that next time. But DoorDash obviously had to pay money here. Now, what I'm wondering here is at what point during this being set up did they think that the DoorDash Grandma would be a good thing to write here? I mean, first of all, we have to talk, look at this. I mean, this is the state of our people in this country, We have the tattoo. We have one tattoo. The DoorDash branded car, she can't buy that car. We have another tattoo, 2 forearm tattoos that are faded. We have overweight, obviously. Could use a little GLP, Not the best posture. Older woman. And I feel for her, I feel that she has to do this DoorDash in these boots, standing here. I just don't think that having the DoorDash Grandma as a mascot for America, shouldn't Grandma be... Look, normally you would say, shouldn't Grandma be making cookies for her grandkids? But she doesn't, because her kids are gooning. Her kids, they're joking, they're edging, they're gooning, whatever. However, the DoorDash Grandma, she should be on a cruise with a reverse mortgage, FaceTiming her kids who can't make over $80K in this economy. That's what the boomer grandma should be. The DoorDash Grandma should be doing. But instead, she's working for DoorDash, depreciating her vehicle to bring the president McDonald's.
We live in hell. We live in the gutter.
I'm just not sure if this is the way that is good for the country. I'm just not sure. Anyway, here we see more. This was this is we'll get to that. This is another this is an outtake here.
McDonald's.
Nice to see you.
Nice to meet you. I have your DoorDash order for you, Mr. President.
That's very nice. Look at this. This doesn't look staged, does it?
They're all your favorites.
That's good. These are good. DoorDash is doing a good job. So, the reason for this is the fact that I heard you picked up an extra $11,000 that you didn't get because the tax bill was so big. The refund was the biggest you've ever had. Is that a correct statement?
It definitely was. Yeah, I saved over $11,000 by not having to claim.
Was that surprising to you?
It was very surprising. Very surprising.
A great big beautiful bill. And that doesn't include overtime in your case. This is only just based on what we did in terms of every other aspect of the tax bill, right?
Yes, sir.
So it was $11,007.
Yes, sir.
Isn't that incredible? And that's what it is. The tax cut, it's really, we call it the great big beautiful bill. We should call it the great big beautiful tax cut bill because it's tremendous amounts of money. And that's overtime. That's also on Social Security, as you know.
Yes.
And it's pretty amazing.
Yes, it is.
And you're really nice. Would you like to do a little news conference with me with these people? These are not the nicest people. They're not nice like you. You know that, right?
I'll do whatever you ask me to do, sir.
So the no tax on tips is something special, right?
It's very special.
And that's the one that really pertains to you more than anything else.
Yes, sir.
That's fantastic. And so it's such an honor to meet you. And I think you voted for me, you did?
Maybe.
Yeah? I heard you're a great supporter. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'll put this over here. And why don't we have a news conference with the president?
First of all, this is Trump's best suit. I really like this suit. I would like to know where he got this suit. How you doing, Suzanne? How you doing, Hotep Uruba? Finally, dude. I've been trying to get some Hoteps in here. The Hoteps are some of my favorite people, dude. No joke. I'm not even saying it like ironically. I love the Hoteps. Please stick around, dude. I have a kufi and everything. I am a big Hotep fan. I love the Hoteps. All right. And J-Boss says, if you add salt, using baking soda, it will also make black coffee less. I'm going to do that. Tomorrow I'll get another black coffee. McDonald's makes really good black coffee, at least in Florida. I like it a lot. But yes, this is levels of postmodern that, when I started this show, I said, like, we are going to get so postmodern that you're going to say, no, please, King Leo, we can't be this postmodern. And I'm going to say, yes, we have to get even more postmodern. You're going to say, no, King Leo, please, no more postmodern. And I say, yes, we have to get even more. And you're going to be tired of being postmodern. I told you. I told you. Baudrillard vindicated. Baudrillard, the greatest man of all time. One French guy figured it all out in the fucking 90s, dude. The smartest man. If you're Baudrillard, the GOAT.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why he's the MVP. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
The GOAT. Like the greatest philosopher to ever live. Nietzsche couldn't do it. Schopenhauer couldn't do it. Steven Pinker couldn't do it. Only Baudrillard. Do I even have to say anything about? I just think that it's kind of funny that he talks to her about her Social Security, which should be her salary, but she also has to do DoorDash. Like,
Netanyahu, what do you have to say?
All right.
Netanyahu.
All right. That's enough. We don't have to get this. Would make it too real. All right, let's move on to the Pope. We got to get to the Pope. In other news, I have to start with this here. If you'll recall, we follow Megyn Kelly very closely on this channel. Megyn Kelly is a mental retard.
Mental retard.
Just the dumbest of the dumbest. Like, she thinks that she's a patriot. But she's actually a mental retard.
Mental retard.
She is not a nationalist. She is a scared woman.
Eugenicist.
Or a eugenicist. That was labeled incorrectly. She said that we should, as the United States, torture people to death. That we should torture people. She said she agreed with, okay, she agreed with John Kiriakou, who's actually the biggest torture fan. John Kiriakou, the reason he actually quit the CIA is because he wanted to torture even harder, but they wouldn't let him. He tells you it was because, they were making me torture. He was like, no, dude, I'm Greek. I love torturing people. It's what we do. He loves torturing, whatever. And she also said she would vote for Trump even if he nuked someone. But she had this to say when Trump attacked the Pope.
It's completely inappropriate, and he knows it. I don't know why the president's getting so desperate for attention that he feels the need to mock 1.4 billion Catholics. It's enough, okay? It's enough with this nonsense. I know you love getting a rise out of people. I know you're really enjoying being subversive. You upset all the right people. I get it. But, why? Last week it was Muslims. Now it's Catholics. Who's next? I bet you it's not going to be the Jews. It's not going to be the Israelis. I promise you that. That's not coming. This is completely wrong. The president should take down that meme. He should apologize, which is something he never, ever does. But he doesn't care. He won't. He's not going to apologize because he's not sorry. Now, he must be feeling some sort of blowback because it's literally just breaking now that the president deleted the meme. He must be feeling how much he's misstepped with that particular meme. So somebody got to him and said, take it down. You've offended 1.4 billion Catholics who have done nothing to you. In fact, many of us have done nothing but support you. When you get attacked over and over and over. And we would appreciate not being mocked for our religious beliefs. Something you seem to be increasingly fond of doing.
All right. First of all.
Cool it with the anti-Semitic remarks.
I don't know what's got into this woman. First of all, I'm going to say this. We're going to get to the meme. I'm a postmodern Catholic, as you know. I know I think CCTV is not a fan of Catholics, and that's fine. It's absolutely fine. We accept everyone on this show. I'm just a postmodern Catholic myself. All right. I don't really care about Trump fighting the Pope personally, and I think it's because I'm the only real Catholic, despite my spin on it as a postmodern one, because I view the Pope as the vicar of Christ, so I don't really care. Like, you know how you'll hear Catholics be like, I like the Pope, I don't like the Pope. I don't care because he's just the vicar of Christ. Like, we don't have to have an opinion. We just have to do what he says. When he says to stop eating for the kids in Palestine, I did that. I don't know if that helped the kids in Palestine when we had to fast. I did the Lent. I didn't eat the meat on Fridays. When I remembered, I don't really care about President Trump fighting I don't know. Does this make sense intuitively? I'm just saying, like, why would I care what people care about the Pope if he's just the vicar of Christ? We don't have to have an opinion on him. He's just a guy. You know, he's not just a guy. He's above that. You know, it's like, do you get angry at, I don't know, like, what's an analogy that's not blasphemous? Like, do you get angry at the tax collector? He's just doing his job. You know, like, why would, anyway, so I didn't take offense to it personally. However, a lot of people did, obviously. Let's watch over here. This is what Sean Hannity had to say about, do we have the meme? First of all, this is the meme that President Trump posted after picking a fight with the Pope. This is him as Jesus Christ healing someone. Now, he said that he thought he was posting himself as a doctor. I find that difficult to believe, but, you know, there's a nurse here. There's a nurse, so maybe, I don't know. I mean, I don't think so. You know, I think this is kind of silly, honestly, but, you know, Rob Reiner's in here, you know, after being murdered with his wife and all. You can't be mad at this if you're a religious Trump supporter, in my view. And I saw Richard Spencer saying it, one of the greatest to ever do it. I love liberal Richard Spencer. All right. He was like, dude, you voted for Trump because you said that he was going to save the country. Is that not basically Christ-like? You know, not to quote Kanye, like, that ain't very Christ-like. You know, you said that I said to Spencer, he liked my tweet. Thankfully, I want to interview him, man. I love Richard Spencer. I don't miss the old Richard Spencer. I love the new Richard. You know, I love Richard. I was like, yeah, dude, Trump promised literal miracles to his followers. So, you know, why would they be mad? Anyway, this is what Sean Hannity had to say about this.
I had a meeting last night at my church, and I saw my priest. And we were talking, and I said, you know, Father, I got to tell you something. I really don't like the Pope. I don't like him at all. He's not on my A list. And
he's interviewing this woman. I don't think it matters why are you talking to your priest about if you like the Pope or not? I don't think about the Pope in that way. He's the vicar of Christ. Why would I like or dislike? That's like liking or disliking. I don't know, like something that is ethereal, you know, like, I don't like God, he's mean. It doesn't matter if you like him or not, he's there, you know, but all right.
I don't like the Pope laughing. Either. That's why I'm not a Catholic.
Well, I am a Catholic, so it's awkward for me. But, you know it was so bad before.
The Pope made a statement. Did you see the Pope's statement? Now, if you want to bring
everything
this up,
he says. I hate watch him. It's terrible.
You hate watching him. I hate the Pope.
No, I hate watch him. Get it? Like, I hate what he says, so I hate watch him. Like,
that's enough slop. That's enough boomer slop. All right. This went over very poorly on Truth Social. You are fucking insane. What the fuck is wrong with you? Unreal, disgusting, disturbing, and demonic. People were not happy with this. All right. And he had to say this about the Pope himself. The Pope, let's see this here.
And they're going to go back, filled up with oil. Okay?
Why did you attack Pope Leo on Truth Social?
I don't think he's doing a very good job. He likes crime, I guess. He hit us. Think of it. He's worried about fear. What about the fear when the ministers and the priests and the all of those great people that were arrested during COVID, and in many cases they're outside 10 feet apart, and they were arrested. So we don't like it. We don't like a pope that's going to say that it's okay to have a nuclear weapon. We don't want a pope that says crime is okay in our cities. I don't like it. I'm not a big fan of Pope Leo. He's a very liberal person, and he's a man that doesn't believe in stopping crime. He's a man that doesn't think that we should be toying with a country that wants a nuclear weapon so they can blow up the world. I'm not a fan of Pope Leo.
Sensational.
How are you? This is the first pope that has my name in my lifetime, and I'm like, dude, it's Pope Leo. You know, me. Yeah, it's kind of cool. I'm not a fan of Pope. Now, what I wonder here is that, first of all, let's be incredibly clear here. All right, this is just genius level wizardry from President Trump. This is genius. We were talking about this war. Someone must have won this war. In the chat, let me know who won the war. Ephra says we won the war for sure. Someone won the war. I don't know if it was Israel or Iran or Pakistan or America. Someone won the war at some point. I don't know. Like, someone won the war once, this Iran war. But now we're talking about the Pope. Now, when President Trump says that the Pope was not happy when they arrested religious people during COVID, the Pope who was Pope during COVID is dead. His name was Pope Francis. But secondly, you're the one who arrested them. You were the president when that happened. It was you. Oh, you're the one who did that. I don't understand this about Trump supporters, man. And like, it's all fine. You can love Trump. Trump was responsible for the country shutting down. He was the president. This goes to our theme that we'll get to later, okay? You were the president when it happened, so it was you who did it. So this is all so silly, man. This is him responding to the meme that he posted.
Did you post that picture of yourself depicted as Jesus Christ?
Well, it wasn't depicted. It was me. I did post it, and I thought it was me as a doctor, and had to do with Red Cross as a Red Cross worker there, which we support. And only the fake news could come up with that one. So I just heard about it, and I said, how did they come up with that? It's supposed to be me as a doctor making people better, and I do make people better. I make people a lot better. As an example, the 11,000, I understand your husband's going through treatment.
Okay. All right. Yeah. You know what's funny is that my producer always says, like, oh, dude, like, Trump is going to run out of tricks. You know, he's going to run out of this one. You know, he did all the magic tricks. He did the French drop. He did, pick a card, any card. People are going to get tired of it. They're going to disengage. And I'm like, sometimes I'm like, yeah, you know, maybe. And then he posts himself as, yeah. And Trump's ultimate trump card is that one day he's going to have his back against the wall for real, President Trump. And he has one thing that he can do to like pull everyone back in who's not a Baudrillardian. And that is simply
say the N-word. Go on.
He will get out on stage and say the N-word at one point. That's, if it comes down to it, President Trump will get on the White House lawn and say the N-word. And I don't know, they just nuked New York and Los Angeles, but President Trump will get out there, say the N-word, and everyone's going to be talking about that instead of the fallout and the nuclear blast. They're going to be, oh, what? Yeah. And he has so many tricks. He's the ultimate wizard. I really do respect him in a lot of ways for this. Like, the wizardry is just, I hope that I can get to these levels. I can see why Scott Adams was afraid of this guy, the late great Scott Adams. This is a scary man. This is a guy this is the master hypnotist, the master baiter. Like, I'm not even being facetious, dude. Like, there's a lot you can, I wish, $1 million or dinner with Donald Trump. I would take the $1 million because I feel like I wouldn't even be able to learn from the dinner with Donald Trump because it'd be messing my brain up. It would have to be dinner with Donald Trump, but he's not sober so that I could talk to him, be like, can you teach me your abilities, sir? Harry Potter. I would be Harry Potter to Trump's, I didn't watch those movies. Snape. I would be Harry Potter to Trump's Snape. I'd be like, teach me the ways, Mr. Wizard, please. This is really something, man. How you doing and everything? Donald Jesus Trump. It's actually pronounced in Spanish. Donald Jesus Trump. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. I think that's enough. I really think that's, yeah, dude, we have to get to the main story. This is enough. This is enough. All right. You understand what happened with the Pope. We're not going to get to Swalwell. We have to move on here. All right, we have to move on to the main story, which is this. I guess this is technically Slave Watch. Let's play Slave Watch in, and we have to watch Tucker Carlson. Let's do that.
I want you to take your knife, get in them cane, make it sing.
I'm not gonna fucking blow my life away working.
I want what I can't have.
Get yourself up and get to work right now.
I'm broke as fuck. The rent's due.
Toby, stay. Toby, stay. Toby, be good now.
Can't wait to make spreadsheets and send emails.
So I learned something. Everything says N-word. You mean nuclear like the interview? No, he's going to say the N-word. He's going to go out there and Trump is going to give a speech, a very important message from the president. He's going to come out there, get up to the mic, and he's going to say, he's going to say it. Piers Morgan will be there because they're buddies. He's going to say, go on.
Say the N-word. Go on.
Go on. Say it. And he's going to say it, and they're going to go, oh my God. All right. Anyway. How you doing, Mr. Elu? Let's watch this. This is crazy. Okay? Tucker Carlson did an interview with the BBC. BBC! What are you, a fucking child? Are you Elon Musk? The British Broadcasting Corporation. I'm not talking about... Fucking children on this channel, dude. Yeah, straight up children. The British Broadcasting Corporation. Yeah, it's the BBC, just like the porno. No. No one even said anything. I just know it's... Are you that easily entertained? Will this entertain you too?
Хочу сказать, что же я хочу сказать?
Anyway, BBC dog that. Don't be stupid. All right, we have to watch some of this interview. This is actually crazy. This is crazy. Tucker Carlson claims that President Trump is a slave. Straight up, dude. We need to watch this. The most powerful man on the planet is a slave.
You tried to persuade Donald Trump not to go to war with Iran. You met him 3 times in the run-up to February the 28th, and you spoke to him on the phone multiple times. Donald Trump now says because of this action that he has taken, the US and the American people are safer. Is he wrong?
Well, of course, that's an absurd statement. He doesn't believe it, I don't think. No, of course not. I mean, we were told after the 12-day war in June that the United States had eliminated Iran's nuclear program, and then we were told in February that somehow that nuclear program had not only been resurrected, but it had been paired with ICBMs that could threaten continental United States. I mean, the whole thing is a fantasy. The United States went to war in Iran in order to effect regime change, to throw out the people who ran the country and collapse it. At the behest and then the demand of Israel. And that's a demand the Israelis have made of the U.S. government for decades, and President Trump fell for it, did it. And I...
Okay. Hey, before he says the actual slave thing, I am sick and tired of this, dude. I'm actually starting to get pissed at this. I really, not a lot of things get to me, but seeing it this late in the game, and it's because my producer sent me, and we're going to watch a part of it, this Michael Tracy debate with Kurt Mills. No, President Trump was not tricked. I just don't understand what you're talking about. He didn't get tricked. He killed, dude. Man, I'm going to be totally honest with you, bro. My producer and I, we didn't know each other at the time. I swear this happened. This is not me making it up. When Qasem Soleimani was murdered, I don't know if you remember who that is, Qasem Soleimani. Big deal, okay? And it was a very, very big deal. I was tripping, all right? I was tripping on acid, and my producer was tripping on mushrooms. And I walked into a McDonald's when I was coming off, while I was ending my trip. I don't do this anymore, by the way. I really don't. And I saw CNN, and CNN was showing Qasem Soleimani, who had died. And they were like, he just got killed. And to be honest, I didn't know much about him. I knew he was in the IRGC. I knew he defeated ISIS. And in this clarity, if you've ever done psychedelics, which I don't recommend, you get some clarity near the end. I saw this and I was like, it makes you very naive, but it does give you some sort of way of like receiving the world as a child. And I was like, they were celebrating it, right? And I was like, I don't know who this guy is. Why'd they kill him? Why am I supposed to be happy about this? Like, this is crazy. You know how they killed him? It was a missile that blows up, but it also spits out knives. It like knives that, and it cuts through you. It's a barbaric way of dying. And I just saw that and I was, why would you do this? I was already kind of mad at President Trump at that point because I was 20 years old when he raised the smoking age to 21. So I had to rely on my friend to buy me cigarettes for a whole year. Okay, I was already kind of mad at him. I know you don't care about that. I cared about that. A whole year. When I was a kid, when I was a youngin', it used to be 18, and then it was 21. I was like, why would he do this? I thought we were the No New Wars guy, And I was like, oh, okay, I guess Trump, he believes in this too. Like he wants to kill Qasem Soleimani. The Arab conspiracy theory I actually learned came from the Iraqi government, that he was going to negotiate a deal with Saudi to end the Cold War with Iran. They were going to figure something out to build a pipeline. We don't know if that's true or not. How can he be tricked into attacking Iran if he already killed someone 10 years ago? That didn't do anything to, he did. For how we're here, but Qasem Soleimani, he raped my children, or I don't know. I never knew the guy. Maybe Qasem Soleimani was cool. I would have liked to go to Topgolf with him and throw back some tequila shots. Maybe he would have been a fun guy. I don't know. Did you know Qasem Soleimani? I'm not saying he was a good guy. Maybe he was a bad guy. Maybe I order, I don't know. Maybe I order a personal plate and he treats it like it's for the table. That would be, maybe he's a dick. I don't know. But I always was like, he defeated ISIS, How could he be tricked if during the first term he killed Qasem Soleimani? This level of cope, we need to find a way to use cope to power the nation. This cope is crazy cope. He was not tricked. Efra says, seriously connect the dots. Who gets all the money? Who hides behind a country but does not get blamed? The MIC. And yes, T-Man got tricked by Putin. The Putin thing, I definitely, Efra, like that Putin thing, I'll never forget how weird the grocery store thing. It was absolutely weird. Eve says, do you know how they are able to detect X amount of uranium in Iran? I don't actually. How do they do that? I assume it's with like some sort of like super advanced gigameter. What do they call decimeters? Like a super advanced decimeter. Or also they can just say they have it, which is probably smart, you know. All right, so let's continue here.
I think he recognized immediately that it was a mistake and that it's very hard to extricate yourself from a war like this once it has begun. And I think the net effect, and the president himself has said this, is at best to leave the regime in place, give that regime control over commodities that flow through the straits at the eastern end of the Persian Gulf, in effect to make Iran much more powerful than it was on February 27th, the day before the war began.
On that subject of being more powerful, I mean, you will know that the president has said, because of me, Iran will now never have a nuclear weapon. There will be no enrichment of uranium, and we will dig up and remove all the deeply buried nuclear dust. Pete Hegseth said epic fury has decimated Iran's military and rendered it combat ineffective for years to come. You don't believe that? They're lying?
Well, of course, it's not true. And it also reflects a fundamental misunderstanding of Iran's power. Iran is not primarily a military power, though it's turned out to be much more effective than anyone thought. Iran is an economic power. Iran has the power to halt a critical supply chain, maybe the single most critical supply chain in the global economy, which is shipping out of the Persian Gulf. And it retains that power because of its geography. And it's always had that power. It just hasn't exercised it until now. And so not understanding that allows you to enter into an engagement like this with the belief that you can beat them, sink their navy, destroy their air force, degrade their missile capacity, and you will somehow won. But of course, the opposite is true. There is no way out at this point from that fundamental reality. If the United States were to eliminate the central government in Tehran, it wouldn't open the strait. The strait could be closed by piracy. In fact, you need a central government in Tehran to keep the strait open. And we know that from the Houthis, who were able to close the Red Sea. And years, many years of war with the Gulf states, briefly with the United States, have not ended the Houthis' ability to close access to the Red Sea. They have it as of right now. So this is an asymmetrical problem. It doesn't matter how many aircraft carriers you have. You still can't prevent other people, your enemies in this case, from closing shipping lanes. It can be done with mines. Like this whole thing, this whole problem is very easy to understand, and you would have to be either not very bright or under immense pressure from another country in order to start a war like this. And the latter is true. We did this because of pressure from Israel. Now, how exactly did they exert that pressure? That's not entirely clear, but we're going to have to find out. I think we have an obligation to find out. And because we can't be a sovereign country under these circumstances. And we're not a sovereign country at this point.
Israel controls America. You know, you can't say that kind of stuff. You just can't say that. Where is it? You can't.
Cool it with the anti-Semitic remarks.
You can't say that. You can't say that.
I had no idea your voice is going to sound like that, Netanyahu.
You can't say that. I have trouble believing that personally. But anyway, let's see how the rhetoric escalates here.
And obviously Donald Trump would push right back on that. And you have been, until now really, a huge supporter of his. You wanted him elected, obviously, for a second term. Have you completely fallen out with him over this war then?
Well, I haven't fallen out with him. I mean, I've known him for decades. I've always liked him. And I think anyone who spent time with him likes him. I feel sorry for him, as I do for all slaves. He is not free.
That is actual footage of Bibi Netanyahu and President Trump. You want to see it again? That's Bibi, and that's Trump. Trump is a slave. He's a slave.
This is exactly what I'm talking about, the slave mentality, the slave mind.
Trump is a slave. This is Tucker Carlson. Everything was going to work out the way Tucker wanted, but Trump is a slave. Brother, how is he a slave? What's your name? My name is Donald. What? What's your name?
Name is Donald Trump.
Yeah, like, what the hell are you talking about? What the hell is he talking about? I like him. He's funny. I have no fallout with him, but he's a slave. This is like when you're with one of you think they're your homeboys and you're raising up a baddie, or your homegirls and you're raising up a Chad. And he or she is like, oh, he's fucking stupid. She's fat. Look at me. And you go, excuse me. The person that's being hit on. You are hanging out with someone that you describe as a slave. Personally, I wouldn't hang out with slaves. I'm nothing against slaves or something. I just don't think that slaves have elite ball knowledge for me. Why would I hang out with slaves? Why would I not have a falling out with a slave? If I met a slave, it would probably be like a short interaction. I'd be like, hello, what is your occupation? Oh, actually, I am a slave. Oh, that's wonderful. I'd probably ask him, how can I acquire a slave? I'd like to know how it works. That would be the conversation. That would be the end of it. But Tucker Carlson wants us here to believe that Trump is a slave, but he's also friends with him, which implies that Tucker Carlson is another slave. Like he's on the plantation, picking cotton, singing Negro spirituals, wade in the water. Well, how would Tucker sing that? Wade in the water. Wade. Do you not see how silly this is? This is insane. This is actually insane. We have gone past all levels of journalistic responsibility, of like integrity. How is he so you're a slave too. You're both on the plantation together, picking cotton and putting it in a cotton gin. Who have you ever met someone that is friends with a slave, who supports their slave friend? I have not. I don't go to Libya very often. I heard that Libya is kind of a shithole because of, where is he? Because of Obama.
You didn't build that.
Because of Obama. So I don't meet a lot of slaves in my personal life. I really don't. And if I did, I'd probably get away from them because I don't want to end up being a slave too. You are the 5 people you hang out with. What the hell is this? What is this? Am I supposed to feel sympathy because he is a slave? And this isn't the only time he said it in the interview, man. Let me fucking find this for you, man. This is insane stuff. Insane stuff. Where's the transcript? Here it is. Boop, boop. Look at this. Look at this. Watch this.
Intentionally violated the terms by attacking not just southern Lebanon, but the city of Beirut.
So are you saying he's a slave to Benjamin Netanyahu?
So I don't think it's as simple as he's under the control of Netanyahu. But, you know, you could summarize it that way and you wouldn't be totally inaccurate. And again, we know this because the single biggest mistake Trump or any American president in my lifetime has made was going to war with Iran in an effort to change its regime. It didn't work. It was obviously a mistake immediately. Trump understood it was a mistake immediately, and he tried to get out of it this week and announced we were getting out of it, and the Israelis prevented us from getting out of it. So that's the...
Is that how it sounds at the White House? Massa baby, can I have some of the good cuts tonight, Massa baby? I ain't wanna eat any more of them intestines. I love me some chillins, but Massa baby, can I have a little bit of meat, a little bit of a T-bone steak? And then BB comes in and he's like, Donald, are you going to put cheese on the steak? No, Massa baby, I know y'all don't like when I put the cheese. but you're holding cheese in your hand. Unhand the cheese. Is that what's happening at the White House? Is that what's happening in the White House? I'm sorry. I'm confused. You supported a slave for president. That's what you're saying. AA reviewed this video, Academic Agent shouts out, and he was like, this is total Tucker victory. I love AA. I really do like him. But brother, there's no way that this is a dub. Like, you supported. Why would we listen to you? This is my main gripe. Why don't you shut up? I didn't start this show until last year because for most of my life, I was trying to understand the world. And then when I felt I had an understanding, I decided to open my mouth. Because what would be the value in me talking to you if I didn't have confidence in my ability to interpret the world? But Tucker Carlson can go from supporting a literal slave, that's what he said, to telling you what you should and shouldn't do. I don't understand this. I don't get it. You're not disavowing him. You still like him. You say he's a cool guy. He's your buddy. But he's a slave, and you supported a slave. So Tucker, why don't you take a big step back, reflect, and recommend someone next time who's not a slave? Was Obama a slave too? Is that racist to say? I don't mean to sound racist here. But is that what we're saying here? That you can't use judgment this poor that Mr. Elu says you wouldn't support Spartacus. No, but that's a slave rebellion, right? Brother, you're not telling me that Tucker Carlson is like Nat Turner's assistant or something. That's not what it is, all right? If I were like a black slave and Nat Turner was like, I want to go kill Massa. I'd take him up. Of course, let's go kill Massa. Let's go do something. Let's kill Massa, get on a speedboat, and get down to Haiti. Come on. I know there's some Haitian bitches down there for us. Yeah, why not? Spartacus be like, hell yeah, dude, let's go kill these Romans and we'll ride out to Carthage and bang, But that's when you have your back against the wall. You're like, I'm a slave too in that sense, right? If I were the owner of Spartacus, I would not support his slave rebellion, And if I were a third-party bystander, I probably wouldn't support it either. I'd probably be like, dude, I'm just like some poor Roman guy. I'm not getting involved in this. I don't want to end up literally crucified. Massa Bibi, can I have just a little bit of gruel tonight, Massa? I need me some. Brother, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Does he have to ask Massa Bibi for assistance going to the bathroom? How does the slave, is it a BDSM thing? Like, is it slave play? You wouldn't be like John Brown. Bro, he ended up dead. Why would you do that? Listen, true Nietzscheans out here, man. I'm not getting involved, man. I'm not getting involved. You win, I'll be, hell, you won, brother. If you don't win, I'm gonna be spitting on you. He lost. What a terrible guy. I'm not putting my neck out for anyone. That's not true, but it is kind of true. No good deed goes unpunished. Remember that.
Netanyahu, what do you have to say?
The thing is, isn't the logical conclusion of this, and I'm not even being facetious. Let's say this is the case. If Donald Trump is controlled by Bibi Netanyahu, if Israel controls America, shouldn't we all rush to 23andMe and find, because everyone has some Jewish in them. I don't think, does anyone not have Jewish in them? I assume people from even in Africa, right? I guess Chinese, right? Shouldn't we all get our 23andMe test and say, look, I'm 0.03% Jewish, and go to the Israeli consulate and say, I need my Israeli passport, and then we go vote in the Israeli election. I mean, isn't that the logical conclusion of what's going on here? If we're being pragmatic, if we're not being pragmatic, then sure, like, let's elect Spartacus to defeat the slaves we're owned by Israel. Wouldn't it be easier for us just to become citizens of Israel and there we vote on the election? Is that not what he's implying? I don't understand this mentality. I really don't get it. I don't get it, man. And on this, I have to play this clip. I know we're nearing the end of the show. This is Michael Tracy, who I really did not know much about. I really didn't. And I love this guy, dude. I would love to interview this guy. This guy is a genius. And he's only a genius because he asks questions and does research, which is exceedingly rare nowadays. And I have to show you that he debated Kurt Mills, which is, I'm going to send the link in the chat, dude. You need to watch this if you have a chance. This is some great stuff. Like, this whole thing is hilarious. He is just grilling this guy the whole time. Let me show you this. Here he's discussing how all of these people like Tucker Carlson or Joe Rogan, who were enthusiastic supporters, who now say, like Andrew Schultz, I didn't vote for this. Yes, you literally did. How none of them did their due diligence. This is really, really good. Let's watch here. This is what I wish people would do. I got to get out of the way here. Let me move myself. Get in the middle, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, we're at war with Iran right now. Hello?
Yeah.
Am I crazy?
I understand what you're saying, although there is, I think you would acknowledge, there's at least credit we can give to the podcast guys for holding him accountable and being like, hey, we oppose this. What the hell? I've Dave Smith, Tucker, Rogan, they've very strongly, I know you have different feelings about Tucker, but like Rogan and Dave Smith have very strongly.
Joe Rogan had Donald Trump on basically the eve of the presidential election in his studio for 3 hours. He could have asked him about Iran. Actually, Trump brought up Iran on his own accord and said, look, things are dangerous for a president, meaning alluding to him potentially being assassinated by Iran. Joe Rogan didn't ask any follow-up questions on that. Oh, I know he's not a journalist. He's just a comedian, bro. Okay, well, if like you're now this Johnny Carson figure where you're getting presidential candidates on the eve of the general election to make pilgrimages to you and, jockey for your endorsement, I don't know, maybe you should up your game a little bit, but it was an ass-kiss fest. Because Joe Rogan says, oh, we've been betrayed. MAGA's been betrayed. Because he's clueless. Did he know about the bomb the smithereens clip or about endorsing joint U.S.-Israeli strikes on nuclear facilities? Did he know anything about the first-term record? Did he know about the personnel? All the stuff I've been talking about ad nauseum on this podcast. Probably not. So no, I don't give Joe Rogan credit. I give Joe Rogan, I find him foolish.
But
for contributing to the propagandistic misconceptions that now have led some people to believe that they've been betrayed by something that could not have been more eminently foreseeable and telegraphed. I wrote a whole thing last June. After Trump bombed Iran the first time, Trump bombs Iran, this possibly the most telegraphed event in human history, and I go through mountains of information demonstrating that. Okay. So no, Dave Smith doesn't get credit.
No, but they're all
Dave Smith. First of all, I'm not crediting Dave Smith for anything anymore.
But they're criticizing.
It's a little bit of a personal vendetta because
they're criticizing
podcast,
Trump
which
right now.
it's supposed to be some comedy podcast. But amazingly, I don't think I've ever heard him say a single thing that's funny. Comic Dave Smith. But he says it would be justifiable for me to be murdered.
All right. I love the Dave Smith hate. It's so good. But let me see. Why is this like this? There's a problem here. Absolutely true. Kurt Mills runs the American Conservative, dude. He's like one of the top copers in the country. He's He's the worst. And Eve says, yes, Joe knows a little, says a lot. Absolutely. And Mr. Elu points out the Democrats are much better. Look, this guy, Tracy, he didn't vote for any of them. He wrote in, I think he said Fred Flintstone. He was like, dude, I don't like anyone on the ballot, which is totally commendable. I didn't vote at all, but I never vote, you know. But this crap, man, he's a slave. He's a slave. Well, you supported a slave. That's what happened with Tucker Carlson. You supported a slave, and so why should we trust you to do anything ever? Like you have shown poor judgment. First of all, I still am not over that whole what's it called? The Russian supermarket thing. Yeah, dude, groceries are cheaper in Russia. How you doing? Love is a 4-letter word. Appreciate you. I did it. My name is Gentile. How you doing? This is no. I get you, Mr. Elu. He is a Democrat. I think he's described himself previously as like a Bernie guy or something. But I just wanted to point that out, just to be fair, like for anyone that needs context. But it's just silly to me, these people that are like, he's a slave. No one saw this coming. I will never forget 2 times, dude. It's actually, this is one of the reasons that I don't do psychedelics. One of the first times that I did mushrooms, Kobe Bryant died. I was with a friend and I was going to a museum called the Wolfsonian. And I was beginning the trip. And my friend looks at me, he's trip sitting me. He's like, dude, Kobe Bryant just died. And I was like, what? You're fucking with me, right? He's like, no, dude, Kobe Bryant died. And I was not in the right headspace for that. I was like, I love Kobe Bryant. Thank you. Much respect. I appreciate that super chat. Oh my God. Let me, where's our air horn? Thank you so much. Love is a 4-letter word, 3-4. I'm going to have to add you to the Chiron after the show. Maybe even during the show. I'll do it at the end. But I really appreciate that. Much respect to you. You keep the lights on here. Let me give you a reply. I always make sure to reply to these. Are you a sir or a ma'am? Sir or a ma'am? Because that name strikes me as gender neutral. But this is what I'm saying, man. Well, what I was saying is, dude, it was crazy because right before Kobe Bryant died, I'm walking into the museum and my friend mentioned Japan. And I had this whole crisis where I was like, dude, I've never been to Japan, but Japan is like the only country that's left that does quality besides Italy. And I realized in that moment that Henry Ford never really promised a quality car. He just promised a car that was affordable. And I was like, dude, is that why American cars suck? Because we were told from the very beginning that the cars would not be the best, but they would be affordable. And now they're not even really affordable anymore. I was having this crisis like Kobe Bryant died. And I was like, no way. That's terrible. I love Kobe Bryant. I genuinely did. I loved the NBA when I was a kid. There's no way Kobe Bryant is dead. And so that happened, and they killed Soleimani. Every time I try some of that shit, something crazy happens like that, and it always ruins my shit. So, I'm a silly woman. Such a silly woman. Not logical and always emotional. We love women, folks. We love our women here. This is not the Myron Gaines show. But yeah, so when you tell me that Tucker, he killed Qasem Soleimani. I don't know if Tucker Carlson's trying to be the white Malcolm X or something. He's like, we are the slaves of the world. We must, we've been bamboozled. We've been tricked, trifled with. I can't do Malcolm, dude. I love Malcolm. I don't want to disrespect him. Tucker, bro thinks he is Malcolm X. That's what bro really thinks, that he's Malcolm X. Where's the scene, dude? Malcolm X. He's the white Malcolm X. Yeah, Talcum X, right? Where is it? This is Tucker Carlson. This is how he imagines himself.
I must emphasize.
This is literally Tucker Carlson. Where is it? Here, it's right. Here we go.
emphasize at the outstart that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is not a politician. That's right. So I'm not here this afternoon as a Republican, nor as a Democrat, nor a Methodist. And stand here today as what I was when I was born, a black man.
Oh, a white man in Tucker Carlson's case.
Before there was any such thing as a Republican or a Democrat, we were black. Before there was any such thing as a Mason or an elk, we were black. Before there was any such thing as a Jew or a Christian, we were black people. In fact, before there was any such place as America, we were black. And after America has long passed from the scene, there will still be black people.
If you substituted for white or American, he wouldn't say it racially. That would be, this is literally Tucker Carlson.
I'm going to tell you like it really is. Every election year, these politicians are sent up here to pacify us. They're sent here and set up here by the white man. This is what they do. They send drugs in Harlem down here to pacify us. They send alcohol down here to pacify us.
They send alcohol to the Foggy Bottom to pacify us.
They send prostitution down here to pacify us. Why, you can't even get drugs in Harlem without...
And here it's going to be like Vladimir Putin, President Trump. Who else is Tucker's heroes? The Smithsonian Giant Bones. These are all Tucker friends. The guy who blew Obama.
The white man's permission. You can't get prostitution in Harlem without the white man's permission. You can't get gambling in Harlem without the white man's permission. Every time you break the seal on that liquor bottle, that's a government seal you're breaking. Oh, I say it, I say it again. You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok. This is what he does.
That's literally Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson will say this, and then all the people in the crowd will run to like the Smithsonian to break down the walls so that they can go get the giant bones, or like break into Obama's house and interrogate him like a John Kiriakou, just like I'm gonna shove hummus up your ass.
Do you waterboard him? Do you sleep deprive him? Do you put him in a cold cell? Do you beat him? Do you put cockroaches on him? Do you put hummus up his ass?
Until he admits that he got blown by this guy that Tucker Carlson is. Tucker Carlson is the white Malcolm X. He is Talcum X. That is Tucker Carlson is Malcolm X for white people. All right, everyone. We didn't get to it, and unfortunately, we probably won't get to it throughout the week. While I do this, I'm going to keep this on just while we do this. Why don't we have a little bit of Fox News or something like that? Let's just do that. Yeah. I mean, look, they're talking about Swalwell. I'm going to add the name here. Yeah, Swalwell had to resign, man. Unfortunately, we're not going to get to it. From a terrorist
proxy of Iran. Now, despite...
What do we have here? I'm going to have something.
Loan is expected to lower electricity bills.
I wish Kennedy had some... I could hear it, but it fucking sucks. Right here?
Front runner in your gubernatorial race in the biggest, most powerful state in the country. They absolutely knew both these things are possible at the same time. The Democratic establishment can be completely corrupt, and Eric Swalwell can be an alleged rapist.
It does appear that the Chinese spies understand their marks, right? Like, at what point did the Democrats not think the Fang Fang thing was a tell?
But that's where Nancy Pelosi's defense is so laughable on its face. Because if you're ensnared in a honeypot probe, okay, you get the same thing we got during COVID. It's called contact tracing. They don't go, this guy shagged a spy. Anyway, don't do it again. They go, who else was he texting? Who else was he emailing? Who else was he hanging out with? If I could just jog your memory 1 month, he was threatening to file legal action to deny the DOJ from releasing the files from that FBI investigation. Why? Because the contact tracing might have brought a lot of this stuff up to the surface. So there's two things that jump out at me. One is the shameless lying, because Gallego says, oh, I had no idea. It was my best friend. I had no idea. That's like Dr. Dre being like, Snoop Dogg smokes weed? Since when?
All right. You're on the four-letter word. You are on the Chiron now. You know what? Since I might as well, we're over time, and the super chat. The super chats helps keep the show going. So why would I not reward you guys with a little extra time here? Let's look at Swalwell real quick. We won't get through all of the news items, but he suspended his campaign for governor. as you can see here. This is from his personal account. To my family, staff, friends, and supporters, I am deeply sorry for mistakes and judgment I made in the past. I will fight the serious false allegations that have been made, but that's my fight, not a campaign's. Beautiful, Eric. I appreciate that. And here he is talking about how...
...me today through anonymous allegations. I thought it was important that you see and hear from me directly. These allegations of sexual assault are flat false. They are absolutely false. They did not happen. They have never happened, and I will fight them with everything that I have. They also come on the eve of an election where I have been the frontrunner candidate for governor in California. I do not suggest to you in any way that I'm perfect or that I'm a saint. I have certainly made mistakes in judgment in my past, but those mistakes are between me and my wife, and to her, I apologize deeply for putting her in this position. I also apologize to you if in any way you have doubted your support for me. But I think you know who I am. For over 20 years, I have served the public. As a city councilman, as a member of Congress, and as a prosecutor who went to court on behalf of victims, particularly on behalf of sexual assault victims.
I'm just glad that he's straight. I really thought he was gay. I thought he was like a beard. His wife was a beard. And I always feel for a woman in that situation, is that a great thing? And we actually have proof because Martin Shkreli leaked this. And apparently it's real because it hasn't been community noted and the media picked it up. This is Eric Swalwell here kissing an escort, which, kissing an escort, it's one thing to use an escort, but kissing the escort, this is a passionate man over here. This is a very straight man. This is probably one of this guy's a bit of a wild man. I really thought he was gay. Nothing wrong with being gay again, but thought he was gay. And look at him. Look at this passion, dude. Like this level of passion. This is some Julia. What's her name? Julia, the pretty woman. With the escort here, in front of people. This is a guy who this might be the straightest man alive. Kash Patel is the coolest Indian alive. This might be the straightest man alive. Look at this. Just kissing up on her. This is very passionate. Tongue down the escort. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty wild. All right. Julia Roberts. Correct. But again, this is pretty bad because now they're actually accusing him of rape, that's a big one. A lot of people are like, oh, sexual assault, or whenever they use those euphemisms, maybe you can beat it. When they say that word, the R word, when they finally say the R word.
Say the M word, go on.
That's when you're in trouble. You should not get that.
Allegation. She's speaking now in California, Beverly Hills. Let's watch.
In 2018, while I was living and working as a model in Beverly Hills, and I also owned a fashion software company, I had contact with Eric Swalwell on 3 separate occasions after meeting him socially. He offered me connections to further my software company, and I also had an interest in local politics. He invited me to 2 public events. I knew he was married at the time and that his wife was pregnant. He was my friend. On the 3rd occasion, I believe he drugged my drink. I only had 1 glass of wine. We were supposed to go to a political event, and he said he needed to get paperwork from his hotel room. When I arrived at his hotel room, I was already incapacitated, and I couldn't move my arms or my body. He raped me, and he choked me. And while he was choking me, I lost consciousness. And I thought I died. I did not consent to any sexual activity. Although I did not undergo a rape kit at the time, I disclosed the assault to the people closest to me. I also recorded these events in my handwritten calendar. The assault and its impact were later documented during my therapy sessions at a...
She's calling him
vampire.
A straight up vampire, dude. This is a vampire. Is this the most heterosexual Democrat that there has ever been?
Patriot.
No. Patriots don't do this. Obviously not. He is a vampire.
Vampire.
He is not
nationalist.
He is not a nationalist. He is this.
Mental retard.
He is a mental retard vampire.
Vampire.
Okay, that's what he is. And so he's gone from Congress Okay, he is gone from Congress. It's over. They did this little news bulletin. I think what's more important here is here we have Nancy Mace, who is a victim of something. I don't remember what Nancy Mace is a victim of here.
So you believe that Eric Swalwell will be kicked out of Congress this week?
I do, and I believe that Tony Gonzalez will be right behind him.
Democrats, a considerable portion, maybe like 100 Democrats would have to vote with Republicans, right, in order to do this?
Yes, and I don't see any way out of this. I mean, there's no way after the videos with the alleged hooker and prostitute and porn star coming out, the stories from his former employees and staff, women coming forward. There's no way out of this. If he wants any dignity, which he doesn't deserve any, he should resign. Otherwise, we will expel him. My understanding, a deal has been made that we will do Tony Gonzalez and Swalwell this week. I'm pushing for more because we just can't get them out of Congress fast enough. And if we allow this kind of behavior to continue, both within our own ranks and within the Democrat.
Now, as you can see, Benny Johnson is confused here because he can't contemplate having sex with a woman because he's a homosexual. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's just something wrong with being in the closet. But this is why he's so confused by the story. He's like taking cues from Nancy Mace because he's like, wait, hang on. People have sex with women? What? Grindr doesn't have an option for women. It's only for men. I didn't even consider that I could do that. That's crazy. Like, what? I can have... What? That's crazy. You know, I can have sex with women. Now what surprises me here is that brother, how do they reconcile the Republicans? Like it just weren't. Look, I don't even buy the Trump stuff. You know, I think it's crazy. And I don't think he was ever convicted for any of them. He was convicted in this really weird way where he couldn't talk about it because there was not enough evidence to disprove. Okay. Something like that. But I just don't know how it works. But if you supported Trump throughout, I just don't understand how this works, man. Like this Me Too thing. I thought Me Too was over. I don't know how they get people worked up over these kinds of stuff still. In the Democratic Party, it makes sense. How you doing, King of Auslan? But another king, a fellow king here. Just don't. How can, if Nancy Mace is a survivor, what is it that happened to her? Nancy Mace was, because, dude, and I'm not even, look, man, to be a survivor, don't you have to have been close to death? I think Nancy Mace, what happened is that her husband leaked a video of her. Which in my, I remember when survivor used to mean like a plane crashed and you survived, you know. Nowadays survivor means like, dude, I'm a survivor myself. I survived the 45-minute line at the DMV. Like that was just as bad as what Nelson Mandela went through. Like it was really, really bad. I know exactly what he felt like. So I'm a survivor. Anyone can call themselves a survivor. Mr. Elo says Michael Eric Dyson tried to get into Nancy Mace's DMs after chastising. For what? What did Bill Maher do? Where is that? Where's that?
I'm a house nigga. No, it's...
All right. I really don't. Love is a four-letter word. Says Me Too will never be over because women have vaginas and we can manipulate men in terrible, unthinkable ways. But I thought the social attitudes were done, right? I really thought that people had recognized that it got to a little bit of a crazy point. It didn't really make sense. But, you know, and if you're a woman that's been assaulted, I know women that have been assaulted by men, you know, like, or a real shit, you know, like a knife held up to your neck in a fucking alley. You know, Latin America, that shit happens. Over here, I was always, you know what, where they lost me with Me Too was that Hollywood is a bunch of freaks. And because I worked there for probably like 2 years, 3 years. It's a freak place. Like it's a bunch of freaks. It's not comfortable. And those ugly little freaks, one time when people were like, why does Me Too apply to anyone outside of Hollywood? And they were interviewing some actress and she was like, the reason it applies is because we can speak, but the overweight 50-year-old immigrant woman at Burger King who's getting sexually harassed by her manager can't. And I was like, all right, listen, you have a freak industry where you have the casting couch. I worked at Burger King. That never happened at Burger King. I promise you, at Burger King, a lot of weird shit happened at Burger King. That never happened. We never had the Harvey Weinstein of the Kendall Burger King in Miami. That never happened. Okay, so if you're a freak in Hollywood, I don't think that's happening everywhere else in every industry. I don't think that's what's happening. But, you know, I guess I'm just, I don't want to sound a little sexist or anything.
Again, I don't want to get all racist or whatever, but, you know.
And here we have his statement where he resigned from Congress. I wouldn't have resigned. I really wouldn't have. I would not have. I don't even see why he did resign. What is the point of this? Why would he resign this? No, King, I never got that far. That's why I left, because I as a kid, I wanted to be a director and everything. Then you get out to Hollywood. I promise you, dude, if you go out to Hollywood, first of all, don't do it. It's a waste of your time. You're just going to end up being in meetings, which are just bullshit. Just we're doing meetings and meetings to develop projects, and nothing ever gets developed. Nothing ever gets developed. I promise you, nothing after COVID will ever get developed. It's over. It's really a dumb place. I'm sure there are rituals. Listen, man, I'm a freak. I'm down for the eyes wide shut party and shit. But they never had that. And I don't even think they do that. I think now it's like creepy shit, you know? I think Al Franken should have resigned, Mystery. I do. Because I hate Al Franken. I really do hate Al Franken. Al Franken is a weirdo. Al Franken is... Dude, the Al Franken thing, I never understood. The woman was asleep and he grabbed her chest. Are you... In that moment of Me Too, how were we supposed to accept that? That to me was a little wild. I just don't understand how that works. He literally we had photographic evidence of the guy. And I'm not even speaking from a Me Too perspective. I don't like anyone touching me in general, unsolicited. I really don't like that. I'm a very paranoid person about touch. I don't like it. I'm like, you're waiting for a woman to fall asleep. What if a guy fell asleep and he grabbed his dick? You know, it's just like, I didn't like that. So Eve says, I lived in North Hollywood. Burger King used to be much better. Am I wrong? When I was back at Burger King, it was a lot better, dude. At Burger King now, the patties are so thin, but it's still cheap. That's a good thing about it. All right, everyone. Let's let this one out for Tucker, man. For Tucker, you know, we have our slave in the White House. Where is it? It's right here. That's what Tucker Carlson sees when he goes to sleep at night. Dude, I'm pretty sure Al Franken... Isn't there the Al Franken picture? Al Franken picture grabbing... I thought this is why he resigned, man. This picture here. This really weird picture, man. I just don't understand how you talk your way out of this. You're kind of a freak if you do this, dude. I don't grab people when they're asleep. I don't think that that's appropriate. I never liked that kind of prank, you know? All right, everyone. I gotta go. We're out of here. We'll end with the dancing dog. For some reason, I find this so good. Right? Dancing dog, and we're out of here. All right, guys. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you can join the Patreon, join the Patreon. It's the thing that helps the most. Eves is in there, and so is Ringo Lamb. He just likes the movie stuff. He's on there for the movie stuff, which is pretty cool. Check out the new videos. We got 3 new videos, I think. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. Consider becoming a member. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Appreciate love is... How is it? It's love is a 4-letter word for the super chat. Appreciate all you guys.
Хочу сказать, что же я хочу сказать?
Change the world. My final message. Goodbye. Change the world. My final message. Goodbye. Change the world. My final message.
bitch.